It's time for the Larry H. Miller Utah Summer Games at Southern Utah University in Cedar City. Register today to participate in the 40th anniversary season of a Utah sports tradition at utahsummergames.org. Participate in over 50 sports around the state. Then plan to join the opening ceremonies Friday, June 5th, presented by State Bank of Southern Utah. Register today to participate in the 40th anniversary season of the Larry H. Miller Utah Summer Games.
Accessing.
The best radio in Utah is right here. This is Scotty G and the coach, Tim LaCoe, on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
In the whole damn town.
Better than Scotty Gerard. Scotty Gerard. It's better than, wasn't that the name they misspelled? Scotty Gerard.
Gerard. It's not quite like, so the first time I was working on a Jazz broadcast. The first time I was working with Hot Rod, I was filling in, doing the walk-off interviews at the post game, and so Hot Rod and I had met a few times, but it was the first time we were actually working together. And so we chatted a little bit before the game. I'm like, yeah, just throw it down to me. If they win, I'll get the walk-off. Blah blah blah. So anyway, Jazz win, and I hear Hot Rod ready to throw down, and I'm like, I don't know if Hot Rod really knows my name. Like, we've never, actually formally introduced each other, ourselves to each other. And so, sure enough, he gets there, let's throw it down to, and then you can tell he's just like, I don't know who this guy is. Like, and probably somebody said something in his ear. He's like, Scott Lagarde.
Scott Lagarde.
I'm like, you got it, Hot Rod. That works, buddy.
I'll take it.
Whatever. It's Hot Rod. You can call me whatever you want. Charlie Villanova, whatever you want. You can call me. It's all good.
Let's go down to Scotty Gerard, Lagarde, down there at the courtside.
Oh, good old Hots, man. That dude was.
He was great to work with.
Yeah.
No.
Tell
the truth.
He had a few quirks to him.
You get a little hot sometimes.
A little bit, but what was really interesting is that he had a system, and even Jerry Sloan would go up to meet him for his pregame interview. Like, Jerry would walk up the 2 flights of stairs to go up and record his pregame. Like,
you don't get that anymore.
No. Your play-by-play guys go, wherever the coach says he'll meet with you, you go there. And if he says, we're gonna be outside bathroom D in Concourse 7, you find a way to get there. Hots is like, no, I'm going to do it here, and Jerry, you're going to need to come up to me. So here's Jerry, who's got a lot of wear and tear on those tires, climbing up the stairs to his broadcast spot, and yeah.
Hey, I'm not ready. I'm still on my shirt. Just wait right there, Jerry.
Oh yeah, and there would be times where Jerry would be like, I'm here. Where's Hots at? And everybody just kind of laugh and be like, well, it's Hots being Hots,
Different age, man.
Yeah. All right. Hey, we had a chance to chat with Sam Merrill yesterday on the show. Great conversation. Coach reached out, said, hey, come on the show. And Sam's like, when?
No, I said, Scotty Gerard has a radio show that I happen to be now attached to. Would you like to come on his show that I'm now attached to?
It's the Tim LaCombe show with Scott Gerard and Lloyd Cole.
Scott Lagarde.
Scott Lagarde.
And Tim Lancombe.
We chatted with Sammy a little bit right out of the gate about, hey, how's that phone blowing up after a 23-point performance?
Quite a bit. I was, I had a bunch of texts, which is obviously great. Didn't get to sleep till about 4, so I was able to respond to most of them last night, which is good.
Sam, you had some nice things to say last night after the game about Donovan. I know Kenny Atkinson in the locker room, specifically called out Donovan about his positivity. In a market, people, it's a little tepid out here with Donovan. Just speak to how important he's been to Cleveland and your experiences playing with him.
I mean, just like I said, he is such a good dude, man, such a great teammate. Just always positive about everything, goes out of his way to make every teammate feel like they're a part of the group. He's the most active in our team group chat. Just everything you'd want out of a star player. We've had some struggles throughout the season. We were 17-16 at one point, had a bunch of injuries, had a lot of young guys playing early on, and it felt like he was the one constant. And just no matter what, he's always tries to keep a positive macro process driven mindset. And, I know this is a step that he's wanted to take to, get to this next level. And so for that reason, like, I'm just, so happy for him.
For you personally, this is one of those moments you dream about in the backyard, shooting hoops, Game 7, winner take all, and to have the night that you had last night from a scoring standpoint, what did that mean to you personally?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I feel like I've played well throughout these playoffs. Had some things physically going on that have made it kind of tough, but haven't really had a game like that. I've had a few double figure scoring games where I've made some shots, but haven't had a big one yet. But I felt like I've been in a good rhythm the whole time and been playing well. Just haven't really, we've played two great defenses in Toronto and Detroit, so I haven't really gotten a ton of shots, to be honest. But I felt like, a bigger game was coming at some point. It was just about, knocking down my first few and then getting rolling from there. So listen, it's, these are incredible moments that you can't, and I won't take for granted. Like you said, this is the kind of stuff you dream about. And, this is a step that we wanted to take as a group from these last few years. We have bigger goals and expectations here. So, we've already kind of moved on to what's next here with New York, but like you have to, if you're not enjoying these moments, then what's really the point of playing? So it was a lot of fun.
What was Asar Thompson thinking when he just absolutely dump trucked you? I mean, I had to rewind that 3 or 4 times because it's like you're a pretty big dude. Like you were standing right there. Did he like that? That was nuts.
That was. I've taken a lot of charges in my life. That was not even close to the hardest charge I've ever taken.
Sammy, I said that was Ryland Jones-esque. I mean, that's what Ryland looked like every time he took one because the other guy was so much bigger.
Yeah, that was he was just – I think he thought he could maybe get a step, and so he went full speed. And, I was fortunate to – I don't know if I'd say fortunate, but I mean, I luckily got into, a position where it was a charge. But – and, luckily I hit my head, but didn't have any head issues. I chipped a couple teeth there, but that's what it's about, man.
So you did do some dental damage, though. Is that right?
I did, a little bit. I didn't lose a tooth, but I chipped a couple of them. So
that just makes you tougher,
tough
dude.
Night.
That just makes you tougher, though. You're already tough, but
yeah, of course.
The one that I always remember was the Nevada game. Was it one of the Twins or was it Caroline where you took the big charge late? And I thought that was kind of the key moment until last night. I'm like, nope, that's number one right there as far as I can remember.
Yeah, that was Caleb.
Okay.
We've actually talked about that multiple times because the Nevada fans like to post that screenshot, and it's an incredible dunk, like no doubt.
Yeah.
But they post a screenshot where it's after his knee has already hit my chest, so it looks like there's no contact.
Hey man, it's all vantage point. It's like the officials tell you. I didn't have a look at that.
But it is a pretty cool picture. But luckily they called a charge on that one.
So you mentioned New York, and they don't give you any time. Like I assume you're there, and you guys play tomorrow night. What is the what's it been like playing them, and what kind of challenges? You mentioned the toughness of Toronto and Detroit, but what does New York bring?
Yeah, it's we got here at about 3:30 this morning. Taking today off, I think we all just kind of need a day, and we'll, we've played these guys plenty. It'll be a quick refresher tomorrow morning at shoot around to kind of get us ready for game 1. But they're a great team, and they're playing, phenomenal ball here in the playoffs. Beat the crap out of Philly. The last few games of the Atlanta series, they dominated them. So they're playing really well, and they got a ton of talent, ton of guys that can that can hurt you offensively, and they're playing on a string defensively as well. So it's going to be a challenge. Obviously, MSG is a tough place to play. It's a fun place to play. Another one of those things kind of you dream of moments like this. So we feel like we've just continued to get better throughout these playoffs. Again, playing two great physical defenses should hopefully prepare us for what's to come here.
I remember talking to you when you first got into the league, and you mentioned the physicality and just how physical these guys are. That's the regular season. How much does that amplify in the playoffs, that level of physicality?
Yeah, I think it still feels like it's a different sport from regular season to playoffs. I do think they are starting to let us play a little more in the regular season. But it's the amount of grabbing. I always laugh when people say like the NBA is soft. And listen, there's some flaws with the league that I think no one can disagree with. But like the level of physicality that guys play with at this level, and especially in the playoffs, is pretty insane. So you got to have your mind right, have your body right. Then you got to be ready for it.
So is that just something I was talking about it the other day? That they're showing an inbounds play or a replay of an inbounds play, and like to your point, like every guy's wrapped up before they can even move. I mean that's the part, and then any kind of exchange or anything, it's two hands on the jersey until they can get caught up. They call that often, but they miss it often too. And I think that's the physicality you speak of. Is that that's why it's hard for you to get shots in series like that, right? Because it's so timing oriented, and everybody's kind of muddied up.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we're taught to grab and hold, and I'm sure that's every team talks about that. And you got to be smart about it, about letting go, so that the refs don't call fouls, but for sure, like you're going to get away with a lot more in the playoffs, and especially these last two teams we've played, specifically Toronto. Toronto, with a guy like Scotty Barnes and some of the defenders they had, they just kind of said, we're not going to let these shooters, me and Max and some of the other guys, get shots, and we'll take our chances with what we have. And Detroit's was one of the best defenses all year. So they're really disciplined and really athletic and physical. And you got to find a way to play with force and work through that. And again, like I said, that's something that we've really improved on over these last 3 or 4 weeks.
I was talking to a buddy of mine in the media that covers the Cavs in Cleveland, and he mentioned that you have quickly entrenched yourself as a fan favorite. I know probably growing up, Cleveland wasn't on your bingo board in terms of playing in the NBA, but that city's really embraced you and your family. Just what does that community mean to you? Yeah, I mean, it's been such a blessing to be here. My first few years bouncing around was tough, just not feeling like we quite had a home, and Cleveland's become a home in the NBA for us, and we're finishing our 4th year here in Cleveland, and the fan base is amazing, and it's a great city. We live out in Westlake, about 25 minutes, west of downtown, and it's a great spot to live. And I said this last night, like the organization is as good as you're going to find, taking care of families and taking care of the players and whatnot. So we love it out here. It's, like you said, it's not a place you grow up thinking about, but I think about it a lot. Like this is Cleveland. Like I grew up, and the Cavs were a huge important team, obviously mostly because of LeBron, but to be a part of this organization has been pretty fun. I totally remember the first time I was in Indy, and we were recruiting, and you were a 9th grader. I remember going to watch the young group play across the way. I mean, so much has transpired from that point
to right now, in your quiet moments, on a day like today, on a day off, when you're laying in New York City, I mean, you've got to just be over the moon, because I know how bad you wanted this. Do you take moments to savor it while you're in it?
No doubt. I try and, before every game, I try and, like when I put my jersey on, I like to look at the back of it and just see like there's an NBA logo, there's the Cavs one championship logo, and then there's my name and my number, and I try and look at that and say, like, don't take this for granted. Like, you've worked so hard to be here. Go try and make the most of it. And I think it helps. It helps me game to game, where I can be like, listen, I could be done today and it would be, a complete dream come true, but still feel like I have a lot more to accomplish. So it allows me to, have some freedom out there when I'm playing, but also gives me, the motivation to continue to try and get better and prove even more. So for sure, all I want to do, I love just working to get better and better, and working to improve. But at the same time, like, you gotta enjoy these moments and where you've come from.
Well, from an old guy who has been around a ton of ball and knows a ton of people around it, I couldn't be more happy for you, buddy. Not just because we share a birthday, and not just because you're an incredible player. It's the type of person you are, and it makes me happy to see the great things happen to good people. So keep it up, my kid.
Appreciate you, bro.
Hey, before we let you go, I know that he's busy and you're busy, but have you had a chance to chat with the new coach up there? I know you have to introduce yourself to new guys every 2 or 3 years.
Customary.
But have you had a chance to chat with Jacobson yet?
I did. I talked to him, a couple days after he got hired. And, yeah, like you said, it's becoming a regular occurrence at this point, but he seems great about the right stuff, and I'm excited for him and the new staff, and glad they got to keep Mason and Carson and a couple of the other guys. So it'll be fun to see what they look like going forward.
There he is, Sam Merrill. Cleveland Cavaliers against the New York Knicks coming up tonight, Madison Square Garden. What better way to really announce yourself to the rest of the NBA and your abilities than to do it against the Knicks in MSG. Can't beat that.
No, that's the Mecca. And like he said, he grew up dreaming about this at every level. This was kind of in the back of his mind. And so for him to go in Game 7 and do what he did when the team really needed it, that's just Sam Merrill. And I'm excited to watch this series develop. I think the Cavs have kind of a renewed, they're invigorated a little bit. And I think Donovan saw a different way to maybe impact the team, get everybody else going, get himself going. But he cleared a hurdle. He cleared that hurdle for the first time he got into the conference finals.
Yeah. So he's been close a bunch. Remember in the bubble up 3-1 against Denver?
8-second violation.
Yeah.
Hey. Still hurts.
Yeah. And then, let's see, up 2-0 against the Clippers and then losing that series in 6, like dropping 4 in a row. That was really what broke that iteration of the Jazz, I think, that series.
Yeah, for sure. But just for good measure, the Mavericks, with Brunson. And that's going to be the interesting one. Brunson's had Donovan's number in the playoffs and has always kind of come up on the right side of things. So they've got to win the game, but that's kind of something Donovan wants to answer, I'm sure, personally.
Did you anticipate, like in that Dallas series, Jalen was a really good player, but it was like, okay, can he be the guy on a team, like the face of a team, especially the Knicks? I think all of us saw that signing. We're like, I don't know about that one. But, boy, that's paid off in spades for New York.
He makes a habit of making tough shots look easy, and that's a good thing, particularly in the playoffs. When you got a guy, you can put the ball in his hands, he's got the ability to go get a shot, and he figures out a way. He shot fake you, move you with his shoulder. Really crafty. I was not sure that you could build a team around him, but again, it's another indicator of will. It's hard to measure will, and this kid's got a ton of it.
All right, coming up next, we'll spin the wheel, little sports roulette straight ahead. Scott Gerard, the coach, Tim Lacombe, every day from 10 to 2, right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Ready or not, summer is coming, and Wayfair's Memorial Day clearance is on now. Right now through May 25th, get up to 70% off everything home at Wayfair. Plus, score amazing doorbuster deals all sale long and surprise flash deals on Memorial Day. We're talking thousands of products at every style and budget. Now is the time to save big on must-haves for your patio, backyard, and beyond. These savings won't last, so don't wait. Shop Wayfair's Memorial Day clearance now through May 25th.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
Spin the wheel and talk some sports. This is Sports Roulette on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
All right, let's get it, folks. Sports Roulette. We take some of the big storylines we have not had a chance to get to. We put it on a roulette wheel. We spin it, and wherever that little white ball lands is what we are forced to talk about. We have no control over the roulette wheel at all. So with that, Lloyd, let's go.
Well, I may be penalized, but you're fired.
Oh, boy. There's always somebody who's got to take the fall. And you guys had some fun on Friday with Garrick Higgo as he showed up late. He goes, I was on time, but late. And he got docked 2 strokes in the PGA Championship. So not a good situation for him. And ended up not making the cut. So who takes the fall? Well, that's going to be his caddy.
You mean the caddy that was yelling at him to get onto the tee box? That guy?
Yeah. Yeah, that guy.
That guy.
Yeah.
But I think he told him coming in, it's almost like get me to the Greek. Like, it's a chore getting Higgo to the tee box.
Yeah. And Higgo says, look, I like to, I do cut it close because I don't want to get cold out there. I want to stay warm. It was a chilly day, so I want to stay warm. So I cut it close, but apparently I cut it too close. And he cost himself 2 strokes. And in doing so, cost his caddy a job.
Well, somebody had to pay the price. And it wasn't going to be him.
No.
Because he can't even be accountable enough to be on time.
He even said, I was late. He said after the round, my caddy was yelling at me to get to the tee. So you're firing the guy that was actually going out of his way to get you up there. And because, look, the caddies get a percentage of your winning. So, like, that, you're costing him money, too.
By the way, he had some other comments. We need to play. So we played those once. There were some other comments that came out later of where he talked about. Let's just say it's even more Gen Z than you would think.
Oh, let's hear it.
We need to play these for you.
Let's hear it.
And be cold, we have to hit it far and straight. It's our job to do that. I don't really think it's my job to be 10 minutes early. Obviously cut it too fine. I thought I still had a few minutes. I didn't have my watch or my phone on me, and my caddy was dropping off my TrackMan. So went to the putting green, hit 1 putt, and then heard my name and ran down. I think that's always been a big strength of mine is, fighting. I always stay in the fight. Might not always be pretty, but I felt like my swing and putting's been in a good spot this week. I haven't had the best year so far. So I just try to make good swings, stay in control of what I can control. Like, there's nothing I can do about being late. I'm already late.
Word salad.
That is the most Gen Z thing of all Gen Z things. I don't know how old he is.
It's not my job to be on time.
It's not your job to be on time? Whose job is it?
10 minutes early.
Okay, well, how about 2? Let's start there, Higgs.
Even David James, the great DJ, he will walk in when the music's beginning, but he's on time. Like, he's not late. He's on time.
Technically, he is not late. No, you're right.
I can set up my watch by, it's almost like Jake Scott standard time because he's always consistently, perfectly about 12, 13 minutes before we go on.
Yeah.
But he's there, like you can set your watch by it. So I've got no issues with that. He's not walking in as the music's playing going, what's going on?
Hey, who are we playing tonight?
So.
Hey, by the way, I will not share the name. He does not do sports radio anymore. But I once used to do a show with somebody who the music was starting, and we were sat down in our chairs. We're about ready to start the show. And he's like, leans over, he's like, hey, did the Jazz win last night? It's like, oh, boy.
This is going to be a long one.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
That's better than who are the Jazz?
was dying. I was like,
I don't know that I've ever heard that.
I would flash a sign and tell you who it was, but now we got cameras, so I can't.
Actually, I think they're down.
Are the cameras down?
Yeah, I think they're not working.
Are they really? Or are you just trying to get me to out somebody and get everybody into trouble?
No, not me.
We could also take care of it at the break.
Yeah, we'll just go ahead and let it sit on that one. But yeah, I remember he leans over, was like, "Hey, Jazz win last night?" Oh boy.
Well, welcome in.
Welcome in, everybody.
We're on top of everything here.
Big win for the Utah Jazz last night.
Let's find out how that went.
Let's find out.
Wasn't there a guy that asked Ron McBride about how...
I was actually going to bring this up. Yes.
He's like, hey, big win. He's like, actually, we lost that game.
And Ron, it was because Ron used to do a weekly when he was at
Weber State.
Yeah. And he's like, actually, we lost. And I was like,
I mean...
Whoops. Hey, yeah. Even, let's just say sports radio guys drop the ball quite a bit.
Everybody makes mistakes. I said that the NHL game was tonight. It's tomorrow night. So I fact-check myself as I go.
Yeah. And there's a lot of us that don't know the correct pronunciation of Victor
Wembanyama.
There you go.
Just as a refresher, it's not
Victor.
Wembanyama. It's not Kumbayama. Or Wembanyama. It is simply
Wembanyama.
Victor Wembanyama.
Wembanyama.
But you guys in Idaho would say Wimben.
Okay.
Wembanyama.
All right. Idaho doesn't need to take strays.
Idaho is going to take strays.
If there's not a DILL or a DEAL involved,
we're no longer Idaho strong on this show.
I know. I don't like that. I
want to make a jingle for Idahonics. Sign up now and learn how to say potato 4 different creative ways.
Idahonics work for me. They'll work for you.
Got me into Boise State.
Oh, yeah. Well, the bar's not set that high there.
Exactly. That's why I went there. Idahonics will get you in, as will a heartbeat or a pulse.
All right. Let's spin it.
An interesting way to bond.
All right, so you're all about chemistry, right? Team bonding, and if you got a kid that's redshirting, not part of a team, you want to find ways to get him involved. You want him to feel like he's part of the team. Well, Brandon Sorsby, when he was at Indiana, didn't really feel like he was part of the team. So he decided that he wanted to be a part of the team in an interesting way, in how he is essentially admitting that he was in fact, gambling on his team. He felt like, and according to court documents, is saying that he felt like this was a way to be connected to his team. He felt like as he was unable to help the team on the field, that he wanted to be connected, felt like he wanted to have skin in the game with his teammates. He rationalized these bets as a way to feel, again, connected to the team, rooting for his friends, and feeling like he had a real stake in games despite being otherwise uninvolved.
Poor kid.
Sounds like a man with a gambling
just
problem.
Just a poor kid.
That's all he wanted to do. He wanted to feel closer and more connected with his teammates. He wanted to experience their wins and their defeats together. And if he wasn't on the field, how could he do that? Not just on the sideline cheering for his team. No, actually looking at his phone and saying, hey, look, it's 3rd and long. I think we're going to convert this 3rd down. I'll put $5 on that right now. No. So, that's the defense he's going with, wanting to be more connected with his team.
And instead ended up more connected with a guy named Guido.
A Sal over on State Street.
Who carries a crowbar and has bad breath.
Oh, boy. Yeah, look, as we mentioned, one of the judges that are being involved in his court case, as he tries to get an injunction, has been pictured next to the whatever the mascot is, Yosemite Sam.
Raider Red.
Going guns up. And the guy got his bachelor's and his law degree at Texas Tech. So that's what Brandon's got going for him. If there's one thing working for him in his favor, it's that.
And the judge wants to feel part of the team, too.
Yeah, he wants to have a little skin in the game, too.
By legal means. He's going to just waive the deal, and they can all feel good about the team together.
I heard a guy say that a player that was from Texas said that you go to Texas Tech when your grades just aren't good enough. It's like the Boise State of Texas. So he said that the old adage was, if you can't get your grades up, get your guns up.
I've heard that before. I grew up there as well, and it was a notorious party school. If you wanted to party, follow Buddy Holly to Lubbock.
That's the place to go. All right, spin it.
More like the Kansas City Jailbirds.
So the Rashee Rice continues to be a model citizen. Hey, look, I don't want the Broncos or the Raiders taking any more heat for being the felons of the NFL. It's the Chiefs. It's over there. Rusty Keys and his crew can't get his guys together. Rashee Rice has been sentenced to serve 30 days in jail after testing positive for marijuana in violation with the terms of his probation for his role in a crash that left multiple people injured. All right, so you got out of that. All you have to do is stay off the lettuce for a while, and he can't even do that. And now has to serve 30 days in jail.
You're going to have to boot him off the team, right?
Yeah, no, he's not getting booted off anywhere. He's good. Now, if he was bad, then they'd be like, hey, we understand that we're committed to our community, and we've decided
to have a hit and run.
He did have a hit and run. But as long as you can produce. Look, Ray Rice got thrown to the Wolves for the video, not because he got caught on video, because he couldn't run the ball anymore. He wasn't good anymore. So then the Ravens were like, hey, as valued members of the community here in Baltimore, we will not stand for this. But if the guy was...
Because we don't want to pay his contract.
Exactly. But if the guy was still churning out 1,000-yard seasons, they'd be like, look, everybody deserves a second chance. We're aware of the situation. He's undergoing therapy and undergoing anger management. We'll work through him with this difficult time. It just depends on what you're willing to, or what you can offer a team.
Can we go corner Rusty Keys after the show? You guys got time at 2? Just because we need to get this stuff fixed. We can't have this in the league.
No.
As Raider fans and Broncos, we can unite against.
In fact, I think Patrick Mahomes should be suspended for not keeping a better eye on him.
This is true. Actually, maybe we should mob Rusty.
Yeah, I know.
Almost like paparazzi.
I know where Keys
Tell us about
hangs
Rashee
out.
Rice, Rusty.
Yeah. What do you got to say about that, Rusty?
I bet Rusty's got a good excuse, and
Rusty has an excuse.
He will rationalize it.
So what he's got is a bum knee and is able to get some salve.
So he's got this glaucoma issue he's dealing with. And what do you want him to do?
Rusty will rationalize.
Yeah. Well, we all do.
All right, table that. We'll see.
Yeah. Let's see here. One more. Lloyd, go ahead and spin it.
NBA playoffs.
Resume tonight. Game number 1, Eastern Conference Finals. It is the Cleveland Cavaliers taking on the New York Knicks. All right, so Knicks favored in this one. How much of a chance do you give Cleveland?
I like Cleveland's chances to compete in the series. I think tonight's going to be a little tough. We've seen the quick turnarounds not necessarily play in the favor of the team that just finished off. I feel like tonight that might be the case with Cleveland. A lot of minutes, a lot of time, and then you heard Sam say they got in at like 3:30 in the morning, going to walk through today. So I'm going to take the Knicks tonight. I think the Knicks will win this game tonight.
Let me pull up the spread here and let's see what we got.
I think it's 7.5.
Yep, 7.5. You're right. Spot on. I think the Knicks cover on that one.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, unless Donovan makes a ton of shots, but he has not shot the three well. And the Knicks will just have a bunch of juice. Obviously, first Eastern Conference Finals since '99.
Yep. Wow. It's been that long.
99.
99.
Which just seems like 5 years ago still to me.
I know, right? When you hear things like, 2003, 2004, you're like, okay, well, that was 5 years ago.
Not.
Yep. By the way, Lloyd, you'll like this. A ring given to Herb Brooks on the Miracle of Ice hockey team was up for auction. So Herb Brooks, 1980 Olympic men's hockey team. Give me your value, Lloyd. What do you think that went for?
Ooh.
A lot.
Yeah, I'm going to say $1 million.
Coach, how about you?
That's a one of a kind.
Multiple mil.
shockingly, I would have done the same. I would have thought maybe 2.5, 549,000.
Oh, it was under?
We should have called there.
I was thinking half, but then I was like, no, it's got to be over $1 million. It has to be over $1 million.
Yeah,
that's a good deal. They got a good deal on that one, I think.
I think so too.
Great deal.
Did I say dill?
Are we good now? We got it out of our system.
If we played them 10 times, they might win 9.
But not tonight.
Rest his soul.
Not for $1 million.
Not for $1 million. Nope.
Have you guys watched the documentary about those players going back? The one that was done this year recently about 84. Where they bring all those guys back as old men now and interview them all and stuff. Have you watched that?
No, I've not.
They talk about Herb Brooks. You need to watch it. It's great. I can't remember what it's on or what it's called, but it's terrific.
I'll just go watch
That's
Miracle.
being 56.
I'll just go watch Miracle.
No. Watch this because it's the
that's
actual
dumb.
dudes.
Yeah, and the movie's not that good.
And they talk about
You're
how
so
brutal
wrong.
how brutal Brooks was.
Oh, yeah.
He was brutal.
He was. Kurt Russell was
Well, I
rough.
mean, that showed sort. He was still trying to escape New York.
Oh, and look, got himself into trouble in Little China too.
Yes, he did.
Ooh.
Great movie. That is not held up well. I tried to show that to the boys the other night.
Really?
Yeah, no, that one.
Kim Cattrall, no?
I mean, look, Kim Cattrall, yes.
Okay,
But
all right.
the let's just say the
woman with green eyes?
The special effects, not great.
Okay.
Not great. Mike Eruzione, his jersey went up for auction a year ago, and it sold for $657,000. I would think that would be over $1 million. Wow.
That is bona fide history. You talk about that moved the needle, man. I was alive for that one. That was incredible.
Yeah. All right, we'll wrap up this bad boy next. 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Shop the Sherwin-Williams Memorial Day sale and get 30% off paints and stains May 15th through the 28th. Whether you're refreshing your interior or exterior, we've got the colors to bring your vision to life. And with delivery, getting everything to your door is easier than ever. Shop online to have it delivered or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Click the banner to learn more. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details. Delivery available on qualifying orders.
Locked on to Scotty G and the coach, Tim LaComb.
Now I know y'all are tripping.
Presented by Mountain Land Supply on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Hey, you know what? If anything's going wrong in your life, just know it could be worse. You could be working for the Portland Trailblazers. Cheap McGee over there that's running the Portland Trailblazers.
Hand me those scissors.
Just cut 70 employees from the business side of the organization, and also got into broadcasting too. Some broadcasters getting cut as well. So first they make the team masseuse get out of the hotel at noon, so players can no longer get their pregame massages. They weren't taking two-way contract guys on the road anymore. Just okay, and look, I'm all about efficiency. I understand there can be some dead weight and some ways to cut, but boy, it's ugly what they're doing there, and just absolutely slashing that team apart. It's like a private equity came in and just said, nope, we're going to cut.
Hand me those scissors over here.
Jeez, man.
I mean, does this have kind of the Arizona Coyotes
a little bit
all over it?
It's got a little bit, and it almost feels like, because there are some rumors of now that they're getting sideways with the city in terms of building a new arena, because apparently Moda Center's getting a little up there in age, so they're trying to work out a new agreement, if you will, between the city and the team and building a new arena, and the city's pushing back on that. So this guy's like, all right, fine. I'll be more than happy to move it somewhere else. He even said, I'll move it to Kalamazoo if necessary. And so that's not going to sit well. But essentially, it's got the feel of like Major League, like he's just stripping it down, making the team, as unpopular as possible. So people then stop going to games and then be like, hey, look, we're not getting the support we need. I'm moving the team. Because Portland isn't necessarily a hot spot right now in terms of corporate dollars.
No, it is a hot spot, though.
It is, and it deserves a team. It's like Seattle. Don't rip that.
No.
The people of Portland have done nothing wrong. They don't deserve what you're doing to them.
No, and it seems to get more comical by the cut.
Yeah.
He just cut. So keep your eye on it. I do have a vibe that they're going to get sideways with the league over some of this stuff. Some bad.
Well, the league's got to. It's given the league a bad name. And when Adam Silver has to answer questions about you being a cheapskate, Adam's not going to like that. It's like, look, you're a billionaire. Act like it. And again, look, I'm a big fan of Ryan Smith. I'm a big fan of what he's building here in Utah. I love the fact that this area of downtown is going to be renovated and going to be up to par. I know that maybe he's rubbed some people the wrong way. Fine, whatever. But you can never, ever, ever make any argument whatsoever that Ryan Smith is 1,000% committed to this team and willing to take losses to make sure that this team is as successful as possible. And because of that, it should be a thank your owner day today when you see stories like this.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Kind of a mess right now in Portland.
It's embarrassing.
It is embarrassing. He needs to kind of look around and like, I should actually be paying people and operating this the way it needs to be. And right now he's just trying to cut corners.
All right, coming up next, Jake and Ben coming up from 2 to 6. We'll be back with you tomorrow. Remember, pop-up in Spanish Fork. We will be live at the Cal Ranch store selling beef. Come check out Bar W Beef. It's a pop-up location. If you haven't tried it, come on down. We'll hook you up. It's all courtesy of Bar W Beef, barwbeef.com. Jake and Ben coming up next.
For reference in French, it's said as Victor Wembanyama. Victor Wembanyama. Therefore, in English, it is said as Victor Wembanyama.
Hey, it's your ceiling vent, so I'm dripping. Could be the rain, could be the upstairs bathroom. Yikes. You could hire the guy your neighbor recommended, but I'm pretty sure that's just his cousin. Do we know if he's licensed, or does he just own a ladder?
Listen to your home. Go with Thumbtack. Upload a photo or voice note and we'll diagnose your project and match you with the right pro for the job. Thumbtack. We know homes. Hire the right pro today.
Summer is all about freedom, fun, and growing up. And between the ages of 9 and 13, kids are starting to form their views about alcohol. With more independence, their still developing brains need more guidance and support than ever. That's why summer is the perfect time to stay connected and plan fun, safe family activities together. Research shows kids who spend quality time with their parents doing what they enjoy are less likely to drink underage. And when kids feel close to you, they're more likely to listen, especially when you set clear expectations. In fact, kids who drink before 15 are far more likely to struggle with alcohol later. This summer, create a no-bummer summer with fun, alcohol-free activities for your kids. Go to summer.parentsempowered.org to take a quick quiz and discover ideas tailored to your family. A little time together can make a big difference. For more information and to learn more about how to prevent underage drinking, visit parentsempowered.org.